Yo, what is up? Let me see how this sounds. Back, back again. Today I'm going to be looking at some cool little stuff like Elixir. And let me see. Okay. I think that's overall fine. Okay. So, how is this going to work? Let me start from the very start. This bit called API reference. This must be the standard library then. An interesting thing for sure. I will look into this. So why I'm interested in this is it just seems like a new language, and I thought, I'll check it out. So let me install Elixir real quick. Let's just do this. There we go. Now, yeah, continue. All that stuff, and then do I have to build it, or is it already done here? Once it... Okay. So interactive mode. There is something called IEX. I have no idea what that stands for. Interactive Elixir. That's cool. You can type expressions. I wonder how fast it is. That's definitely an interesting question. Because I want something like Haskell, right? It's kind of fast. It has a nice... It doesn't have to have, a command line, an interactive thingy, what's called a REFL, right? It doesn't need to have one, but I prefer if it does. So, I do prefer that. So this is this is working. There we go. So IEX this should exist. There we go. So is this really slow? It is not. And the reason I say that is because look at this. This is, for example, Scala. I mean, what are you doing? And then also Kotlin is even worse. I mean, look, why could it possibly take that long? Like up after that though, it's faster because it's obviously doing some kind of JVM startup thingy, but still, I mean, that's concerning. So this is, so there's no plus. There's no plus plus. They just decided to call it this. Interesting enough. So let me see how this works. And you can also print stuff. For example, IO dot puts. Put /1. Okay, so I have a decent idea of what this would mean. There. Tests. There we go. That looks pretty cool. I'm really liking the let's see. See. Okay, anyway. Let's get started with some basic types. And dude, somehow I feel like every time I like check, I accidentally turn my camera off or something. Somehow that just seems to happen every time. But whatever, I'll continue. You've got integers, hex integers, floats, booleans, atoms. Now this is, I'm excited about this because an atom is basically an object. In like Kotlin, if you're familiar with that, it's like saying you make a new struct in an instance of that struct, but whatever. And then you have strings. Then you also have lists and tuples. So this is reminding me a little bit of Clojure because Clojure has these things, right? Clojure, atom. Or not. Wait, no, it's not called an atom, but it's called something and they exist. Symbols, that's what it was called. This. Right? Anyway. So let me do some commands. 5 plus 2. 5 plus 2.0. I can do this. I guess it's like Java if one of them's a float, they're both floats. That's fine. I prefer conversions, but whatever. Don't really care. And you're telling me that division always returns, that's also fair enough. So, I'm not sure is there a way to do this. Because in Haskell you could do that, but obviously that's not a thing. So we'll see how that works. Supports shortcut notations for encoding. Nice. Please be an error, please be an error. Okay, that's also fine. Because obviously, as people know, in, for example, JavaScript, if I write 077, that's 63. Because that it sees that as octal, even though everyone should really be using this syntax. Anyway, ramble aside, you have scientific notation. So that's very nice. Obviously, it's going to get a bit weird if I try to number that big, but all 64-bit, that's also fair enough. Like, you don't need 32-bit floats that much. I feel like they should exist as a language feature, but at the same time, whatever, not that important. Round, so I can do round 3.2, okay, and that gives you an integer actually. That's interesting. That's a nice choice because, for example, in most languages, like even Java, if you do math.round 8.4, it'll give you what's actually 8.0. So math. It returns a float, right? Really? I could have sworn it returns a float. There's something like that. Interesting. Anyway, you have functions is integer. Okay. Identifying functions. Okay, so this is cool. You can have polyarity functions, right? So you can have a function that takes one argument and is called trunk, and you can have a function that takes two arguments and is also called trunk. That's fair enough. Now, what I would prefer is if you could have serious, like, real polymorphic functions, as in, like, you can have one that takes an integer and gives you back this. You can have one that takes a float and gives you back this, but I'm guessing it doesn't play well with whatever implicit conversions are going on. Because, for example, when you do that, this language clearly has some conversions that happen automatically. Okay, true and false, and or not. True or false. That's fair enough. Can you also call it like this, though? Providing a non-Boolean will raise an exception. That's good news. They're short circuit operators, which means they only execute. Okay. Okay, this is like throw. That's fair enough. You have nil to indicate, so again, very similar to closure. You have logical operators that manipulate nil. Okay, this I find stupid. Why do you need this? Whatever. Good. Yeah, I don't get that, but whatever. An atom is a constant whose value is its own name. Some languages call these symbols, right? Watermelon, apple, orange. Okay, fair enough. They're equal if their names are equal. They're able to express the state of an operation by using values like okay and there. True and false are also atoms. And these, okay, so you're saying these three are special. So, yeah, so these are the same thing then. That's cool enough, I guess. I guess it's alright. Not terrible. Fairly interesting. UTF-8 strings, obviously, yes, you need that. You can concatenate two strings like this. You can interpolate strings like this. Okay, I guess. Okay, apparently Dale has no string thingy, but whatever. There. Strings can have line breaks. Okay, pretty classic. What the heck did I just do? IO dot puts. Fair enough. I'd still prefer if it was IO dot print instead of what does puts even stands for? What does it stand for? Yeah, put string. It's kind of stupid. As an output string, I think, but whatever. Is binary byte size? String dot length. String dot upcase. Fair enough. Can you pipe in please tell me you can pipe in this language. Banking. Yes, okay, that's good. That is absolutely a needed feature. So can you also then do I'm guessing that doesn't work. Okay, piping into unary is not supported. Oof. Okay, that's that's an interesting choice to say the least, but whatever. It's fair enough. Okay, I know what tweaks like that. Integers and floats compare the same if they have. This I don't like. Don't do that, please. It's not a super huge deal. Okay, but can you create it yourself? That's what I kind of wish there was a programming language. Well, there are, but I would prefer it if this one had equals as like a normal function that just exists on these two types, and then you can make it for your own types and make it for strings, etc. So you're telling me then that you can also do this, right? Yeah, okay, that's cool. Now you have linked lists. Alrighty. Neato. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that these are linked. That's kind of annoying. But whatever. I don't know how you even define a variable in this language yet. What are you doing? Oh my gosh, okay, not doing that again. I don't know how it works yet. X equals 4 and then X. Okay, that's how I do it. So then, if I do X equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that makes about sense. Okay, that's fair enough. List operators never modify the existing list. Okay, so it's one of those languages. Please, why did they do this? Why head and tail? That's so stupid. Whatever. So you're telling me I can do head of X, and I can also do X into head, right? There we go. That's how I would do it if I designed a programming language. I'd do real piping, like a real person, but whatever. Maybe you aren't ready for that yet. Okay, whatever. You can use I to receive information about it. Term 42, data type, integer, reference modules, implemented protocols. There are protocols. That's good to hear. Very glad to hear that. Um, Not bad. Okay. Uses curly brackets to define tuples. So you're telling me tuples are fast. So tuple equals 1, 2, what? 1, 5, 3, 2, bad. And can it also just contain the string? Okay, whatever. That's kind of dumb though. Hmm. I don't really like the fact that you have to specify the parentheses like that, but I guess whatever. Ambiguous pipe. It's also possible to put an element in an original tuple. Right. This is also immutable then, so it's not going to give you a new data structure. Listed tuples. Yeah. On every white space character. I don't like that this is a thing. I would assume there's an overload for, if I want to split it by an H, it should let me do that, right? Okay, that's good at least. Okay, this I'm excited about. This looks good. It's like a nice simple way to pattern match stuff. This is an interesting choice for sure. Um, that's an interesting choice. Yeah, if it's linear and you want to like say that, you should really call it count, but whatever. It's just the equal operator. Okay. The equal operator is actually called the match operator. That's an interesting thing. So you're telling me m equals 1, 1 equals m, 2 equals m won't work. Okay, so we're doing pattern matching. A variable can only be assigned on, yeah, obviously you can't do this if unknown doesn't exist. But you're telling me you also get some nice pattern matching. So you can do A, B, C equals 1, 2, 3, and you get B, C, right? And C is this now. So you get your shadowing, that's nice. For example, if the different tuples have different sizes, right, that's not going to work. That also makes sense. That the left side will only match the right side when the right side is a tuple that starts with the atom. Okay. Okay, cool, good for it. Congratulations for that, I guess. But that's also, honestly, this is a pretty nice way to do it. As opposed to saying unwrap. Right? So once I learned how to make a function, I could make a simple function called unwrap. Okay, so you have your head tail operation there. So in Haskell that would be xxs equals, right? Or closer, it would be xxs equals, yeah, like that. Something like this. That's how it would work in Haskell. There you go. So it can also prepend. That's nice. I can absolutely... Why can't I freaking move? Oh my goodness. I can respect that. The pin operator. Use the pin when you want to pattern match. There we go. That's really nice. That there is really nice. That's something I wanted to see in Rust. Because when you have it in Rust, right? And you have here's what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, here. When you have, say, something, some number x, and you want to, right, so assuming this is Rust, you have to do this, right? Match x, maybe y, if y equals maybe y. You have to do this. You can't just match it to y, or else y will always match it. It'll try and override what you already had. It's very strange, but that's just how it works. So we have pinned x. Yes. That's very nice. That I really like. That I really, really like. That also makes sense. This is good. This is good stuff. It's a common practice to bind those to underscore. Yeah, you can never read from underscore. Right, so if I do this, great, I did it. But what is it? Who cares, right? Who even cares? So the length of this list, yeah, you would want to do this beforehand. It's a bit weird. I don't understand why you'd ever need this code anyway. Alright, so now let's talk about case, cond, and if. So one thing about this language is it does have, admittedly, do and especially end. I hate end, but whatever. I can respect it if you're gonna use the syntax for like other stuff. But still, like the curly braces, you're gonna actually use them for something, whatever. But still, I don't like this. Is the thing even smart enough to case? Oh my gosh, let me type. Yeah, okay, it is smart enough to do that. How do I run an actual file? Okay, look, I just want to make an Elixir file, man. Hello, where is the hello, mate. Hey, where's the where's the no ex file? Right, this I do it. Okay, whatever. Okay, is there anything even in here about? I just want to make a file. Oh my goodness. Okay, I should probably install an extension for this. This looks like the one. 1942. Okay, that seems better. I dot puts hello. Where's my, oh my goodness. Come on, run it. Okay, that's sure. Brain damage. There we go. That's acceptable. I can respect the compilation time, not really a big deal. I don't know why this is here. Get away. Does it just create this all the time? No. Okay, I need to really quickly change my code runner settings then. Um, does that work? Please work. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Also, what other thing I did want to do is see the... Okay, that's a bit better. Okay. Neato. Does this support stuff? It does. I'm glad to see that it does. I put standard error. So it's telling me that I can't do this. Ah, that's super annoying. Don't like that. Whatever. What is that? I don't know. Okay. So now we have our case expression. So I can go and say, okay, um, test equals 4. I don't know why that's helpful. Uh, I mean, I still don't know how to write a function, so, but case test do. Okay, so you get that at least. And then you'd put your pattern, right? So if x is even, how do I do number? Okay, there it is. Oops. When? There we go. I need to get used to writing that hashtag. So I did this. Oh my goodness. Why is that brain damage? What is this brain damage? That's kind of stupid. I don't like that. Okay, I guess I don't require an integer. Oh my goodness. Brain damage. Brain damage. There we go. Ooh, whatever. At least that was a compile error. I mean, I don't even hate that. So it was a compile error. Keep in mind, errors in guards do not leak. Simply make the guard fail. Interesting. That seems also like a dynamic typing issue. No case clause matching. Okay, cool. This is something that makes sense because I assume you can assign to something like this. All right. If I do this, oops, is okay equals. Obviously, this isn't how you'd really write it, but whatever. The puts is okay. Yeah, so you can assign to the result. Obviously, then if you had say something like this, it should throw an error because otherwise, like, what does is okay even mean here? I mean, really. Then you have if, and then you have unless. Then you have else. Okay. Fair enough. You have to like do multiple ends or what? I assume not. Whatever. Bit strange. I don't know. Right. So once you do this, yeah, this I know. This is like saying, okay, you're not really changing X. You're just saying, okay, well, I want X to mean a new thing in here. And as soon as you're out of that scope, it's back to what it was before. Right? If and unless are macros. They aren't special language constructs. That's kind of cool. Then you have cond. That's like when, except you don't care about the value. That's fair enough. This is nice. Doesn't do this otherwise thing that Haskell does, where it's like, okay, well, just use the word otherwise because math and brain damage. I'm glad this looks good so far. I'm excited to see what this is and how it works. And I'll be back to this, I think, because now I have to go, but I'll be back.